All right, very good evening to you. Great to have you join us again today. Today happens to be the 20th of April, 2020. My God. And time is flying as faster than you can ever imagine. I'd like to say very, very, very good evening to all of you who are joining me on my Facebook page from around the world. I want to say thank you very much for your time. Today we have a very, very, very interesting topic to discuss, and we're looking out for your contributions on Late Night Talk today. As I said, this is just something to keep me busy and give me an opportunity to interact with you in a creative way while I observe my stay at home from work. Today, looking at the federal government's apology as far as the Abba Kyari burial controversy is concerned. The Secretary of the Government of the Federation has spoken, and he's had a couple of things to say. But for those of you who do not know, Abba Kyari was buried on Saturday in Abuja, and there were so many people there. Lots of Nigerians took to social media after watching the event live on national TV, and they were not too happy about the fact that despite the lockdown order imposed by the federal government and the restriction of movement and of gatherings in the federal capital territory, Abuja, in Lagos and in Ogun State, people gathered, most of them were government officials, by the way, gathered in Abuja to bury the former chief of staff, Abba Kyari. Not just did they bury him, they observed absolutely no social distance. And the manner in which the body was handled, his name is Akpotive. He's a public relations analyst, a nation builder, and a medical administrator. Good evening to you, Akpotive.
Good evening, Kofi Bartels. Good evening,
great.
Citizens of the
Thanks
world.
for joining me this evening on Late Night Talk, and I hope that you and yours are keeping safe.
Yeah, great to be here, Kofi.
Okay.
We're trying to keep safe.
Oh, wonderful. Andy, did you watch the burial ceremony of the late chief of staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Abba Kyari?
I did, and I was just laughing at how we have become in this country. How that the laws are different when it comes to specific people. The laws are different when it comes to certain tribes. The laws are different when it comes to certain religion. So what obtains with the poor man in our country is different from what obtains with the rich man. The Minister of Information had come out to say that they were never going to release, those who died of this COVID-19 to their families because there were specific procedures. So how they should be buried, but we saw how that they not only released, Abba Kyari, they flew him from a location to another location where it was eventually, purportedly buried. A day after, we saw how that people even trumped to his house, his residence, and they went to pay homage, they went to do their condolences, and you could see that there was nothing near social distancing, physical distancing, or any form of distancing. For me, it just showed how serious we are. How our government will speak from both sides of the mouth. I mean, governments are the center, government at the center, government at the state. They say one thing today and they do another tomorrow. You saw how that the Rivers State governor, for instance, had said that whether they liked it or not, he was going to prosecute the 22 people that came from ExxonMobil into the state. And just less than, 48 hours after he said that, they made that broadcast, he called and said, he told Rivers State citizens that a few people, good-spirited Nigerians, are called, and they were no longer going to prosecute that issue, and that they were no longer going to even go on with the issue. But a couple of days before, he had said ducks to dawn, and people came out, ordinary citizens came out, they were arrested, and they ensured that they were prosecuted without, the so-called good-spirited people, without the so-called good-spirited people that he thought called him this time around, to release the bourgeoisie, to release the rich men, to release those that are considered above the law. So for me, it just seemed to me like a charade. How that we are allowing different laws apply when it comes to the men that are big and the men that are small. You saw that the president personally tweeted his condolence for Abba Kyari and all that. Yes, granted, he's his personal friend. But a lot of people have died in this country. Some were killed in Borno State. Some were killed in Benue. Some were killed even in Katsina. The president sent either Garba Shehu or he sent the other man, to speak about how that he's not happy about it and all that. But you see, when it was time that Abba Kyari left, he personally tweeted. He tells you indeed that Kofi, it is like a case of George Owen's Animal Farm, where we think that animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. I'm just ashamed, over what has happened, recently. I'm just ashamed. I kid you not. I'm just ashamed, over all the things that we are saying in this country, all the things that we are saying, how that they speak today from this side of the mouth. They are talking that this is what they want to do, and they're doing something completely different, completely different from what is the standard. I'm just so ashamed.
Okay.
Kofi, I kid you not, I'm just ashamed.
Andy, sorry, I can hear the kid at the background. Andy, some have said, it's that there is the family had a right to give Abba Kyari a final farewell, befitting farewell. That all of you talking about it and criticizing it are only talking because it's not you. That each and every one of us would love to give our families a befitting farewell, and we should just stop being hypocrites. That's how all of us are. What do you say to that?
I'm not saying that Abba Kyari's family don't have a right to that, but I'm saying, what is the standard regarding burying people that die of conditions like these that are infectious? What is the standard? What is done in America? What is done in China? What have we been doing in Nigeria? Why is it that this time around is different? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Why is it different this time around? It beats me hollow that in one stride, like we're saying from the other side of the mouth, we say, oh, this is what is the standard, this is what must be. And in another vein, we are saying something entirely different. We're not saying the family don't have the right. But did he die out of quote and unquote natural cause? Did he? If he did not, if it was as a result of certain infectious conditions, what is the standard medically? What is the standard world over? How should you bury this body, given the fact that he was infected with COVID-19? You saw the video that was trending, on social media in Abuja. How that people who they had expected would understand how to wear the coveralls. One of them particularly came out, pulled the cover in the manner that he pulled it, and the NCDC and co came to explain it away. I thought that was too shabby an explanation, because that man indeed showed us how unlearned, how unaware he is about how to dispose of without coverall. And he must have touched his car, he must have touched a few people. If indeed that was the barrier of an infected person, and he had been thoroughly involved in it, you can be sure that by now it would be infecting a lot of people. It just seemed to me like a charade. It seemed to me like our leaders are not even sure of what they are fighting. Kofi, I have looked at this, and I was speaking on air today on a radio station, and I talked about how that everything our leaders have done, from the center to Lagos State to even Rivers State, has proven to us that they either know some things we do not know, or they do not believe that this COVID-19 indeed is real. Kofi, see for
instance, what?
For instance, say we're building makeshift structures everywhere, makeshift structures everywhere. We're building. In China, do you see how they confronted theirs? Over a period of time, they built permanent structures to attend to that condition. And after the death of COVID-19, quote and unquote, they will hand over that structure to their system to run, so that in the future, if there's any of such condition, that institution that has been built will be able to cater to that condition. But see what we are doing in Nigeria, Kofi. I've just been crying and I've just been laughing. It's been a mixed bag for me. We're building temporary camps everywhere. In Rivers State, we have gone to Elikaya
but Andy, we don't have all the time for that. I mean, if you want to look at the
my point is that so should this thing end this week or next week? You know what will happen, Kofi? They will just pack those tents. Some people will steal the AC, some will steal the generator. They will pack everything, they will go home. And it will be business as usual.
You seem not to have any faith in Nigeria.
You said what, please?
You seem not to have faith in Nigeria.
I'm saying to you that everything that has been done by our leaders thus far has proven to us that it's either they are not aware, they're completely oblivious of what leadership is all about, or they are deliberately doing these things to us because they are aware that citizens are unaware, citizens are not educated enough, citizens don't have expectations that are strong enough to challenge them and challenge their nonsense. Because you see what's happening in our country, for crying out loud. In Rivers State, for instance, we don't have a test center. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a test center.
Andy, the test center is being built as we speak, and it will be ready in a moment from now.
So, Kofi, should we all die first before the test center is ready? Should we all die? Let me tell you, if it was something that was, if you permit my use of the word, that was stupid, you will see leadership running around and fixing the thing in 25 seconds or in 25 minutes.
Okay.
This is as important as life is itself. And we are not fixing the institution. Somebody said to me that, Andy, you have been saying that leadership will learn from these things. Do you really think that they will learn at the end of this COVID-19, particularly in Nigeria? And I looked at him and I said that even though I've been saying that I hope that leadership would learn, I am convinced that the Nigerian leadership would not learn. It will be business as usual because they've not done anything to show to us that they are learning. Nothing at all. Kofi, my formula was brought out today and I said that indeed, in order to confront it and confront it well, can we not just look at certain states and say in all the different local governments, let us empower at least 10 private hospitals. If there is a government hospital in that local government, we add it to it. Empower it with capacity to test and to treat. And you do it across all the hospitals so that even if this thing ends tomorrow, those hospitals will have the capabilities and the capacities to be able to attend to this condition. But what are we doing? We are doing makeshift. Everything in Nigeria is about hard work.
Andy, I'd like to ask you a question, my brother. Interesting analysis you've given to us today. But before I ask you the next question, a lot of people are enjoying your conversation this evening, and I'd just like to acknowledge the online line community or listeners who are joining us this evening. Ikemo Adele, good evening to you. He says it is too late for the apologies. Joss Ejifo says, okay, just thank you very much for your message. Kingsley Nwadukwe says all the people that were present at the burial should be quarantined. Juliet Ogechi says, excuse me, I think the apologies are rather coming too late, but as they say, better late than never. I applaud them for accepting their mistakes, but they no try. Uche Chiku Emmanuel says FG put law and break the same law put at the same time. For how long should Nigeria be like this? This country is an issue. Andy, isn't this a reflection of who we are in the country? Because we're pointing the accusing finger at the federal government, we're pointing the accusing finger at the governors, we're pointing the accusing finger at every other person. But basically, like they said, a country where people get the government they deserve, and this is just a repetition of what we ourselves are, a reflection of what we ourselves are as a people.
It's not exactly as you have put it that we get the leadership that we desire. Because indeed, like I said today on the radio program, do we really vote in these people? Did we really vote them in? Are we really going to vote them in the next election? Nothing has changed, Kofi. Look at our electoral process and our electoral system. It is about the might. The person with the strongest force, the person with the strongest power.
I'm not just talking about voting. Where do they come from? These people who are in government. Where do they come from?
Where I would agree with you. I would agree with you, Kofi, is that citizens, followers, would not understand what it means to hold leadership accountable. If you hear some people speak about some of these leaders, you will look at them and be wondering, are you living in a fool's paradise? Are you living in a world that is different from the Nigerian world and the Nigerian environment and the Nigerian situation? If you are living in Nigeria, how come you are blowing the trumpet of these leaders who are proven to you that they are failures ab initio from the point where they decided to even run for elected position? They are unaware of it. Go see what happens everywhere else
the point I'm making is, where do they come from? Where do they come from?
So this is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Our people have refused followership. We have refused to hold leadership accountable. Yes, they're coming from amongst us. But you see, when you get to position of authority, it's like a driver, Kofi. If you are driving with me in a car, you are permitted to get drunk. We all are in the car, yeah? You are permitted to get drunk.
Okay.
But the person who is holding the steering, the person who is driving that vehicle, if he got drunk, he will be arrested and will be sent to prison. He is not permitted to get drunk, even though he is friends with the other people that are drunk. He is holding the steering. It's the same thing with the pilot. The pilot is going to fly the plane, but the pilot is not expected to take some of the alcoholic beverages that are served the other passengers in the plane. Nigerians can be foolish, quote and unquote. I'm not saying we are. But once you rise to the position of leadership, there are certain things that are expected of you. Today I was addressing the speech of the governor of Rivers State, how that he did not speak like a governor. He did not have the candor. He did not have the demeanor. He did not have the personality, the characteristics of a governor. And you see, citizens here in Rivers State were divided, and some were saying, hey, the governor, he performed very well. Some were saying, oh, he did not do well. My point exactly is that where I hold followership, where I think that they are culpable, where I think that their role is that we must hold leadership accountable. And again, I cannot completely hold them, culpable, because we are not equally educated. There are people whose expectation of leadership is miniature. It's ordinary.
Okay.
It is so pedestrian. Their expectation of government is just to drill ball. So once you drill ball, Kofi, you are going to.
But I mean, maybe like Aki Alabi put out on Twitter recently. Aki Alabi, who's a young man who himself just got elected into House of Representatives. If you didn't study government in school, don't even start talking about governance. Maybe we don't even understand governance. That's why these guys, we don't understand them, because we've not studied governance or government in school. That's what the House of Reps member said.
Kofi, you ask me,
one of the youngest representatives in the country.
Yes, Kofi, you didn't really need to study governance. Go and look at Aliko Dangote. What did he study? I was reading his biography, and he said one of the reasons he has remained the richest, he has remained rich, is basically because of the fact that he doesn't employ people who is smarter than.
Repeat yourself. He doesn't employ people he is smarter than.
He doesn't employ people he is smarter than.
Oh, okay.
He ensures that you are smarter than him in the field that he wants to employ you.
Okay.
If he sees that he's smarter than you, he doesn't employ you. So what's the point I want to make? That's about leadership. You don't necessarily need to know geography. You don't necessarily need to know mathematics. But the ability to be able to identify.
But that is what the House of Representatives member said. A very popular, Aki Alabi, the owner of Naira Bet, a very popular man, said that on Twitter. But Andy.
Okay, Wheezy, what's his pedigree? Wheezy. Kofi, when people talk talk about leaders in this
This
country.
is a successful young man who a lot of people
Yes.
look up to. He started a
Right.
company in the betting industry, which is doing very well. He's empowered so many people. He's an author just
Okay,
like you
wait.
are. And he's
Okay,
been able to
wait.
move from the private sector into government. He's not a career politician. So he
Kofi,
has
wait.
pedigree.
Kofi, who is he? Kofi, who has pedigree? Kofi, please tell me who has pedigree. Let me shock you. Those who have pedigree are not seen, are not known in this country. I want to be quoted. Forget all these ones you are saying. Go and check the source of their wealth. Go and check how they became what they became. Can they really put one-on-one together to get to?
I think people who know Aki and Labi know his story and know
So I don't
how
want
he
to
got into the
pursue names. Kofi, I
betting
don't want to
industry.
pursue names. But I don't want to pursue names. But I
Okay.
will say to you that there are a few people in Nigeria that have proven themselves that they can be great leaders. I was talking to them and I said, there is a man we should study in this country. You know, the man that is the governor of Oyo State, Sheyi Makinde.
Okay.
Go look at him. Go look at his life. Go look at how he has risen to where he is. Go look at how he comports himself as a governor. The other time, he had a meeting. He apologized on social media. He apologized to people that if I was aware that this was this and this was this, in retrospect, I wouldn't have done what I did. Kofi, how many governors will do that?
So this same Sheyi Makinde, Andy, this same Sheyi Makinde, are you sure tomorrow you will not come with reason to criticize him?
Kofi, if Sheyi Makinde messes up tomorrow, Andy Akpotive, did I tell you that one of my appellations, one of my titles right now, is Troublers of Bad Leadership, the Troubler of Bad Leadership and Bad Governance. So if Sheyi Makinde comes tomorrow,
in a three-piece suit.
Yes, troubler of bad leadership and governance, Andy Akpotive. I trouble them. I trouble bad leadership and governance. If Sheyi Makinde comes tomorrow and he messes up, I will trouble him. But Kofi, as I speak with you now, I can leave everything that I'm doing. I can leave my work. I can leave my business. I can pack up everything and carry back for Sheyi Makinde for the next 8 years without him paying me a farthing. Because I have followed this man, I have seen that he's different. He's of a different stock. Have you heard how CNN, how they attack Donald Trump? Have you heard it? Do you hear how he responds?
Okay, Andy, let's hold the thought while I read a couple of messages, because those who are watching right now on Facebook and on YouTube are enjoying, and a lot of messages coming through. And if you're just joining us or you're watching live on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, I want to thank you very much for your time. This is Late Night Talk Live with me, myself, and Kofi Bartels. The Trouble of Bad Governance and Bad Leadership, that's his new title. I call him a table shaker in a three-piece suit. Andy Akpotive is on the line. He's a nation builder. He's a public affairs commentator, and he's an administrator, a very successful one at that. He's an author as well. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can do that in two ways. Number one, you can comment on this post, and after you comment, you can also call to have your say. The number to call, I'll put it up on the post as well, 080-620-99556, 080-620-99556. But that's after Andy leaves the line so that you can call in. As long as he's on the line, you're not permitted to call. Okay, we have more comments coming in. I'll just read a few of them before I get back to Andy. I think Juliet, I've read your message. Uche Chukwu, I think I've read your message, but if not, let me just read it again. He says, the FG put a law and broke the same law. For how long should Nigeria be like this? This country is an issue, he says. Okay, thank you very much for your message. Another one here is sent by Beauty Samuel says, what are they apologizing for? They told us to stay at home, but now they're the ones spreading the disease. Just imagine what will happen in the next 2 weeks. God, please save us here. Bisong Andy, your namesake, says, okay, thank you very much, Bisong. I appreciate your time. Menye Krakomada says the deed has already been done and some actions taken to stop what was supposed to be the mother of the spread of COVID-19. It's only proper to apologize to Nigerians. So that's one person who thinks the apology is important. Dave Stephen Digbara says social distancing. This Into has become a political, has got into the political nomenclature since you know who made it famous. Ogbo Minister Prosper says they're really insane. Thanks to them for their godly behavior and sharing their good virus to others to take home. Gabriel the hero, ignorant of the law or ignorance of the law is not an excuse. He says, in this case, everyone that attended the burial of Kyari, they're all aware of the offense they have committed and should be punished accordingly without hesitation. Funke suffered the same thing. Let them do the needful. Apology is not enough. Some people died as a result of violation. Okay. Thank you very much. Isaac Naji says, imagine the shame. Charles Green is asking me a question I won't answer on Facebook right now. If Austin says apology not accepted, the law should take its full force, just like what was done to Funke Akindele. Andy, Akpotive, looking at what happened to Funke Akindele, wouldn't you say that Nigeria is changing? Things are getting better, because the lady and her husband and all those other top people and celebrities were not given a holiday. They were not given a pass, or there was no big man played. They were dealt with according to the law. Don't you think that is a sign for us to have hope and believe that Nigeria is changing and things are getting better?
Kofi, you'll be deluding yourself to think that.
I'm asking. Oh, okay, go on. I thought you said I've been doing. Go on, please.
Yes, you will be deluding yourself to think that the law has propounded that we are equal before the law. The theory has propounded applies in Nigeria. Did you see that a couple of days after Funke Akindele had that, a certain governor, I don't want to mention his name, had his birthday, and there were people who gathered to celebrate him. And nothing happened, Kofi. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. I have seen how that certain people in certain parts of this country gather to play football. I've also seen how that they share these things. They share food. They share what they call palliative. And people gather to collect this so-called palliative. If you see the way they gather, Kofi, you'll be wondering if we understand what it means to be to maintain social distance or physical distance. They gather. They are hitting themselves. They are rushing to get the bag of rice. They are rushing to get the gari. They are rushing to get the monies that they are sharing. Our government.
So do we need government to come and teach us to queue? We don't even queue, Andy. We don't even queue in the marketplaces. We don't even queue in the supermarkets, at the petrol station. We don't queue. Do we need government to come and teach us how to queue?
I think it's government that is even encouraging this nonsense. How does the government say that they want to share palliative and they are sharing it physically to people? They are the ones encouraging that. It's the government.
So Andy, if the government, I'm not holding brief, okay, for government, but based on what you're saying, if the government says we want to throw it in the air, can't people say, we will come on, boy, you stand there, make we form line? Because if this disease touch us now, it no go affect Wike or Buhari. You say?
I want to ask questions for asking questions. Why should the government say that, oh, I want you people to observe social distancing, and they are refusing to do the things that will ensure that we observe social distancing? You expect the people who do not know, the people who are not as aware, as informed as the government, to not be the one to say to them, say that, oh, it's social distancing, let us stay away. It is the government everywhere in the world that will regulate it. Kofi, I have often said this to you. If you were driving on water lines, there are people coming from Olo Obasanjo, there are people coming from Garrison. You know why all of us don't drive into ourselves? Because the government puts what is called a traffic light there. The traffic light will regulate how we move around water lines. Those who are coming from Olo Obasanjo, once they saw red, they stopped. Those who are coming from
not everybody, not everybody. A lot of people, I'm not saying majority, but many people don't stop.
The point I'm making is that what they have put there, that is what is called government. Should you fail, they should have a system that should pursue you and ensure that you pay for that your crime that you have committed. Do you understand? They should ensure that it is not the people that they should expect to just have brain, and when they get to water lines, they just will park and wait for those who are coming from Rumola to pass, or wait for
Andy, at a point, I'm not disagreeing with you, Andy. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just bringing another, side of this whole argument that at a point, you have to think for yourself.
The point exactly is that the people are not
Because
capable of thinking for themselves.
that's why
Is that
government
not why
won't
we
come.
have a government?
So that's why government won't
Kofi,
come to everybody's house to clean their house for them. Government
Kofi,
will come.
that's why we Kofi, that's why we have a go. Kofi, you don't understand
I don't think I'm not understanding. I'm asking you questions. So what do you
yes, why we have a government is that it is assumed that the people do not know. That the government must not make them know and fall in line. Everywhere else in the world, that's how it works. That's how government came. If you understood even from Bible history, how that the people said they wanted for themselves a king. Why? That the king may be able to tell them what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. That's what they wanted. Okay. And even God admonished them as, okay, because you wanted this for yourself, let me find for you a king. And God found for them a king who began to teach them what to do, how to war, how to fight, how to do everything. This exactly is what government is all about. It is government's responsibility to teach the people what to do. For instance, in Rivers State now, we have said we want to observe a 24 hours curfew. And I've been laughing since. You say that there is no COVID-19 anymore in Rivers State. One, you say that the people who you were observing, they are free, they are all negative. You say that you are sure that there's no COVID-19 in Rivers State. Yes, you are putting 24 hours curfew inside Rivers State and align the borders.
Well, and they say prevention is better than cure. And as far as this coronavirus is concerned, Andy, you need to think 5 steps ahead.
If you want to prevent, how do you then prevent? You go to the borders. You prevent people from coming in.
So Andy, are you saying Andy Akpotive, are you saying therefore that as far as you're concerned right now, there's no possibility that there are people working in River State, living in River State, breathing inside River State, within the confines of the border of River State that do not have coronavirus or COVID-19?
Kofi, I'm not in government.
No, I'm asking, based on, what do you feel? Okay, what do you think?
I'm asking you, the government position is what I'm quoting. The government came, told us in River State that,
so you're now a spokesman of government?
You said what?
I'm saying, are you now a spokesman of government? I want you to give me your own thought. What do you think? Do you think that it's impossible that we have people who may be moving around who have contacted this thing?
Absolutely. I think so.
It's impossible.
I think that it is a possibility that we have people who are moving around and they have this condition. They have this COVID-19.
So isn't it right now that they put measures in place? For instance, saying, okay, we're restricting gatherings in churches to 50 and over the most. And also now we want to impose curfew on some areas where there are markets and the people have refused.
I love you and I love the question you just asked.
To shut the market.
If that was the case, the government should have told us that because of the possibilities that there are people in River State that may have COVID-19, we are therefore deciding to take this up. But they are afraid of telling us that, you know what, they are being politically correct. Do they want to tell us that? Is it not shocking? I have been talking since morning saying that as big as River State is, for instance, we don't have testing. Kofi, it is not rocket science. I can volunteer my hospital. We can volunteer hospitals and say, government, can you just come, buy this equipment, put it in Lagos, for instance, there are testing centers in all the different local governments. How are you sure that you do not have people who have COVID-19 in River State? The government, they are saying to tell us this, but their actions show that they believe that they are carriers of COVID. If not, why are you shutting? I have said that. You can't be shutting down. For instance, Kofi, we are not even looking at statistics. The people who die of this condition are within certain age bracket. So they are either young children or elderly or old adults. And there are also people who have certain conditions, in medicine we say comorbidities, along with the COVID-19. If we have seen and we have categorized people as the vulnerable, very vulnerable, not so vulnerable, why then don't we put measures for the not so vulnerable and allow them go to do their regular trade? But for the very vulnerables and vulnerables, we categorize them and we put them into certain catchment area where their tests tested consistently and they are possibly treated? Why can't we get hospitals also that we can empower, hospitals that we can train with the capabilities to handle this condition?
Andy,
what we are doing is, yes, please.
Okay. That's an interesting thought. Getting to partner with the private sector as far as government is concerned for the testing and containing of this coronavirus.
Because this nonsense they are doing with ad hoc hospitals that they are building them, this nonsense is not sustainable, Kofi.
Okay, and you have to move. We have to move to another question. I think I understand where you're coming from because in other parts of the world, the reason they are using stadiums and halls and giant warehouses and all that is because the hospitals are full and they have no more space.
They are overwhelmed, my brother. They are overwhelmed. So hospitals are full.
But as we want to just take the people far.
You don't understand. We think our head they grand, our legs they up. That's how we think.
The hospitals are overwhelmed though. They don't have spaces. They're now deciding let's use football stadiums and all that. But here we don't want to take them to hospitals because we feel they'll contaminate us and all that.
China built a standard hospital of how many beds on how many days.
But how many owners of private hospitals will want to allow the facilities to be used?
All.
And yeah, you sure?
All. Mark my word. Mark my word. If government came around today and said to Nigerians or Rivers people and said to them that, oh please, we want to partner with private hospitals. We want you people to, have 2 wards in your hospital that would be for this kind of cases, an isolation ward, for instance.
Okay.
We want to empower you with the capabilities to test. We want to empower you with the capabilities to treat. We want to train 3 people from your hospital, 1 laboratory scientist, maybe 4 or 5 nurses, 2 or 3 medical doctors, and all that, whose responsibility would be to attend to these conditions, and this is how much we are going to be paying you. If you did this across the hospitals, Kofi, the nonsense we are doing with temporary centers, that is not sustainable, like we did with the Abuja sports game. I mean, what is it called? Have you been to that place recently? That place, Obasa just spent millions of naira.
Okay, the games village in Abuja.
Yes, the
games
sports,
village. Okay.
Sports, whatever.
Games village.
Everything about us is ad hoc. Kofi, guess what will happen? Please take this into note and make sure you record this. As soon as COVID-19 finishes, and I'm sure that before 9th of next month, we are going to start breathing again. This COVID-19 thing would have come down. We would have been saying now that the curve is flattening everywhere else in the world, including Nigeria. This is what I strongly believe because of certain things that I have seen. Now, as soon as it comes down, Kofi, trust me, guess what will happen? Some of those ACs you see in those places will be taken by either the ministers, commissioners, House of Rep members.
So you think they're going to plan? But the private sector is leading this charge. You have the Coalition Against COVID-19, CACOVID. You have Kenneth Wiggle, Access Bank, the Guaranteed Trust Bank, Dangote, BUS Cement Guy, and all that. Do you think they will? EFCC already has been putting adverts on NTA. My DSTV subscription ran out, so I had to do free to air for some days. And EFCC was playing adverts, warning people to not use this COVID-19 as a way to steal money because they are watching.
Okay, forget the English we are speaking. They are stealing money as we are speaking, and they are still going to steal money. Is it not a shame that even the people who should know are not thinking along this line? What has gone to government that government has managed properly, Kofi? Do you know what I mean?
Are you asking me?
Yes. What have they managed? They've only been able to successfully manage how to steal successfully, how to plunder the nation successfully. What else have they done successfully in this country? Please, I want you to tell me. What have they done?
Andy.
Education is nothing. Healthcare is nothing. Okay. Housing is nothing. Everything
Andy, before we go, what do you think of the fact that the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Mr. Boss Mustafa, who is also the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, he apologized. At this briefing they have every day, he apologized over the violations that took place during the burial of the late Chief of Staff to the President. And Boss Mustafa, the whole secretary to the Government of the Federation, said, see, we're sorry. So, which means the federal government apologized. You talked about Sheyi Makinde, in Oyo State apologizing on Twitter. Well, Boss Mustafa apologized live on national TV and said, "We are sorry." This I want to quote him. I want to quote. If you're watching right now, to please drop your comments on our Facebook page. You can drop the comments right here as you're watching me. On the line is Andy Akpotive, where he says he's a troubler of bad governance and poor leadership. Also, I call him the table shaker in a three-piece suit. He's an author, a health administrator. Yes, that's right. And also public affairs commentator. And he joins me live from Port Harcourt. And I want to thank all of you watching us, listening to Andy. And please type your comments on the comments section. I will read all the comments as we go. And you can also get ready to call. I put the number on the phone, on the post, the phone number on the post, so you can call when we're done with Andy. So, Andy, I want to go back to what Boss Mustafa SOG said. And he said, and I quote, "The PTF recognizes, regrettably, the unintentional violation of the principles and protocols that form the core of our message to Nigerians at the funeral of the late Chief of Staff." Note his words. Unintentional violation. That they recognize regrettably. And he's saying these principles for emphasis include the guidance provided on mass gatherings, social distancing, personal hygiene, and restriction of movement. Lessons have been learned and appropriate measures have been taken to close all gaps. And he rendered an apology. I mean, this is something good, isn't it? You talked about apology. Well, this is one. This one.
So, Kofi, apology on its own is great. It just shows that a man understands that he has erred in the side of law or in the side of morality or conscience. I agree that apology is good. But however, this apology seems to me like an afterthought. This is what I've said. You had time again for you. You had studied this condition. Your Minister of Information had said publicly that this is the protocol for addressing this. Why did you people breach it only to be apologizing a day after? It seemed to me like something that was intentionally done, and it was an afterthought to say, okay, we have done it, so let's apologize.
You can't know for sure, Andy. You can't know for sure. You just said Sheyi Makinde apologized on Twitter. Boss Mustafa apologized live on national TV on behalf of the federal government. This has never been done before, as far as I can remember.
Let me tell you the difference. Go look at Sheyi Makinde's apology. You would see that indeed he was saying that he was not aware of all of these things, that this pandemic is ravaging like this. This pandemic had entered into this, or that even whatever it was that he wanted to do would put at risk the life of the people that were coming. He was not aware because he was not involved, even though he's governor. He had not been briefed about this thing. But you see, Boss Mustafa is being the presidential advisory or the committee chairman who had been taking daily briefings, both from the NCDC people, the ministers of health, and every other medical person. As a matter of fact, I am sure that he's suffering from information overdose right now. He has got so much information about COVID-19 that he can make him a consultant on issues around COVID-19. That's what I'm sure about what has happened with Boss Mustafa. I am very sure that consultants on infectious disease and infectious disease control, if they serve with Boss Mustafa today, he would be able to even coach them and teach them a few things that they may not even know.
Okay.
This is a Boss Mustafa who understood these things before now. And he, in spite of the fact that he understood it, he permitted it. This is what I said. I said it today. He permitted it because it would have just been one simple memo that would have emanated from his office to say that even though the chief of staff died, we are insisting that blah, 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 blah not be done, and we maintain what is the standard regarding conditions like this. That would have put paid to it. All of the agencies of state would have carried out all of his instructions because he's both the secretary to the government of the federation and the head of the committee. But he never did anything like that. He allowed it to be. Do you understand? It's like saying that you are a father, you were sitting in the sitting room and you saw your children quarreling. You allowed them fight. You saw them quarreling and the quarrel was going to generate or was going to snowball into fisticuffs. You allowed them finish fighting. Then you now go to them and started saying to them that, oh, if you had done this, you wouldn't have fought him. If you had done this, you wouldn't have fought him. The point where they were having that quarrel, as a father with experience, you could have interjected and said to them that, oh, Junior, please don't do this. You don't do this because you don't do this to your brother. Your brother, please don't do this. But you allowed the fight. Avoid saying I'm sorry. He said this to us when we were growing up. Every time he said, avoid saying I'm sorry. Avoid saying I'm sorry. I did not understand it until I was in year 1 in school. So one of the days I came home, he said, avoid saying I'm sorry over something that happened. Then I approached and I said, Richardson, what's happening? Why would you say avoid saying I'm sorry? And he said to me that the damage that is already done before you say I'm sorry is so heavy that your I'm sorry may never be able to undo.
Okay.
So avoid doing that damage in the first instance as much as possible so that you don't get to say I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry is great, but do not give me a slap and then tell me I'm sorry.
So you're saying Seyi Makinde's I'm sorry is acceptable. In this Seyi Makinde, you can resign from your job. This is a Seyi Makinde that you said you can carry your bag for. Hold on, please. You have your time to talk, please. No. Wait, hold on. I heard you. Andy, I heard you. Andy, I heard you. You said you'd carry your own bag, his bag for him for 8 years. You resign from your job because he apologized on Twitter. And that apology is the best thing. Now, I told you that the Central Government Federation apologized for what happened profusely on national TV live, but you are saying that apology, I'm sorry, is not acceptable because damage has already been done.
Absolutely, because in this time you had information about the danger that the action that you would eventually say I'm sorry for would cost the people. You had enough
How sure are you that they knew what was going to happen?
You said what?
How sure are you that they knew what was going to happen there?
Oh, I just told you now, this man is like a consultant on coronavirus issues right now. You don't understand. But Mustafa is a consultant on coronavirus.
But we can't sit here and say for sure that he knew how this was going to pan out. This is you know where we are. We're talking about Nigeria, talking about Africa right here.
Boss Mustafa can take me to court tomorrow. I'm saying he knew. And I will give you, I will show you, I will prove that he knew. Did you hear that? Even the Minister of Information right now takes address from Boss Mustafa as it concerns this issue COVID-19. Are you aware? So long as he's the chairman, is the head, every other.
Okay, so it happened. It happened. Then he came back and said, "See, Nigerians, we messed up. We committed a blunder. We shouldn't have done it. We are sorry. It will not happen again."
I am happy he said I'm sorry. Kofi, get my point. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that at least there was, for the first time in the history of this country, in the history of the national, since this government particularly took over the reins of leadership, somebody in the presidency, I don't like this word presidency anyway, somebody, the secretary of the government of the federation, is coming up to say, I am sorry. Kofi, can you remember the last time you heard this kind of a thing from a government official other than Seyi Makinde? That a government official comes out and says, I am sorry. We are asking Wike to tell us that he's sorry for how many days. He has not told us. For the dogs to dawn.
Why do you want Wike to say I'm sorry? Well, you never know. He might just say it.
He's never going to tell us.
My governor might just say.
He's never going to tell us. If he was Seyi Makinde, he would say, oh, I did not understand it like this, or I was not thoroughly briefed, or the people carried out the instruction not as it was given them. You know, the police officers, he would have come out to explain that the governor is here to tell me, and the Akpotive, governor of Rivers, is here to tell me that he's sorry, because I was one of those people that were harassed that morning when I was going to the office. I was thoroughly harassed by the police officers at Rumukuta. He should come and tell us that he is sorry, because he said dusk to dawn. He only changed that at 12. The point I'm making is that it's good to say I'm sorry, Kofi, but please don't be aware of certain consequences and think that you would go ahead and do it and eventually say I'm sorry to the people and expect people to accept. That's the point I'm making.
All right. Andy Akpotive, it's been a thrill having you on the on a late night talk tonight. You've said whole lot of things, and thoroughly enjoyed your analysis. Thoroughly enjoyed your contribution tonight and the energy that you bring to conversations and discussions. Always thoroughly appreciated. Thank you very much, Andy Akpotive.
Thank you so much for having me,
All
Kofi.
right.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
citizens of the world and people of River State and Nigeria. It's
Thank you
great
very much. Thank
to
you.
be here again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's been Andy Akpotive, our guest. We've spoken for more than 45 minutes. My oh my, we could have gone on and on and on and on and on and on. But if you'd like to be a part of this conversation, please feel free to call right now. 080-620-99-556 is the number to call. 080-620-9955. Andy has gone. Andy Akpotive is no longer here. What do you make of this episode as far as the whole the whole Abba Kyari saga is concerned? What do you make of this episode as far as the whole Abba Kyari saga is concerned? And do you think that it proves some more that there are double standards for Nigerians, two kinds of laws, the laws for the haves and the laws for the have-nots? Call right now, 080-620-99556, 080-620-99556. I'll play that video again, and I'd like you to listen, watch, and then call.
They bonded that place. Even if I don't quench for the coffee safe.
See, you don't come out that thing when you
See?
See this idiot man.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
That guy don't come out
See,
the
See,
He don't come out that white something.
See, I see in a capture when
And all these Aboki people go pick him.
Oh, and his hand come between. You need to carry it for me, get them down. The person will now open it for it. Time for landlord or go burn them. But look at. Oh, God.
And that place, see how?
Say, they look around.
Aboki the man. Don't they use it?
Rico, say now. They're leaving the place. Don't better finish now. See, look. We go to all like this now, come out. Cry.
And for outside here, safe.
That's how Hausa life for you.
Very foolish something.
The boot, everything, was all burn, all those things. And that coffee never burn finish. Look at, they leave it for them.
You don't leave that in there, come out.
See,
You don't leave that cloth there, come out.
you see Anna, that time motor. God, who they go? Capture that dog, capture them. That was better have born. As some can and I say, don't see your record. Ew.
If you go get the number plate, you tell that man.
They bonded that place. Even if I don't quench for the coffee safe.
See, you don't come out that thing when you
See?
See this
That man
idiot
don't they
man.
come out the
Oh,
clothes.
Jesus. Oh.
That guy don't come out the
See,
clothes.
See,
He don't come out that white something.
See, See, I see in a capture when
And all these Aboki people go pick him.
Okay. Welcome back. That's an interesting one. My oh my. So that's a video of an N. I don't think it's an NCDC staff, but somebody who was meant to be part of those disposing of the body of boss of how do I keep saying boss Mustafa of Abba Kyari, and the guy was changing off and throwing the thing that he wore, the PPE, and he left it by the roadside and drove off. The National Center for Disease Control, the federal government, they've said they will take care of this. They're going to make sure that all the PPEs that were used that day are burnt or probably disposed. We can look at now at some pictures of what transpired in Abuja on Saturday, where Abba Kyari's body was received by flight from Lagos and taken straight to the cemetery where he was laid to Mother Earth in accordance with Islamic rites. You've seen pictures of the body of the late Abba Kyari, Chief of Staff, being laid to Mother Earth in accordance with Islamic rites. You can see those men wearing the personal protective gear or equipment, one of which removed same and threw it by the roadside, which, of course, if you know about coronavirus, you know how contagious this is. Oh, this is one of why his body was being brought in, and you can see that one of the people carrying his body is not wearing any PPE. All he has is a glove on, which is actually a danger to him. It's a danger to him. So call right now, 080-620-99556. 080-620-99556. You can also call, that's the number to call, 080-620-99556. It's Late Night Talk with me, Kofi Bartels, right here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube Live as well. Facebook Live, my page is facebook.com/Kofi on air. Facebook.com/Kofi on air. And on YouTube, just simply search for Kofi space Bartels, KOFI space BARTELS. We're open for sponsorship. If you'd like to support us in any way, support me in any way, you can do that. Simply drop a comment and message in my inbox, and I'll be very glad to hear from you. We need financial support to make this look better, to get better cameras, to get a better environment, to get one or two people to help us work and make the show, even though it's just a Facebook show and YouTube and later Instagram, to make it, something that will be appreciated. So if you'd like to support, you'd like to invest some money in this, feel free to send me a message, or you can also advertise your products and services here as well, because the videos are going and they'll be there for a long time, not just on Facebook but on YouTube as well. You can also please press the notification button so that anytime I go live, you get notified that I've gone live, and then you can watch the show. I want to read some comments here. This is not about me talking to you and ranting or telling you what I think. No, I want to have a talk with you. All right, we'll have a talk with a guest on the line. Maybe later we'll have a Skype or a face-to-face. I can see them, they can see me, you can see them. And also, you just want to have a talk with the guest and have a talk with you. Get to know what you think about what's happening around. I'm just like a middleman, like a referee, when it comes to this, okay? From time to time, I'll tell you what I think, but most importantly, I think you should also tell me what you think. So apart from the comments, please feel free to call. We have, we've done 1 hour, 5 minutes, so we're out of time, but you can call before we go, 080-620-99556. Where are my people at? The regular callers, where are they? I need to hear from you, okay? 080-620-99556. If you'd like me to call you, feel free to drop your number as well. I'll call. Okay. Another message here. This one says, this from Oshobukola. Okay, Oshobukola Olufemi says, since it's what the people want, the government gave it to them. After it cost them nothing. The point is they have done what they want to do and will do it again and still give out an apology. Okay, so you think the apology cost them nothing? John Best Uche, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate your time there. Chuk Sunday. Chuk Sunday says apology overruled. By who? By you? Okay. Eze Wobi CK says, good evening, Kofi. No one is above the law. They should all do community service. Oh, so you want everyone who was at that burial, everyone to do community service. That's what you want. Eze Wobi CK, everyone. By the way, the presidency, and I know Andy Akpotive is watching me on Facebook, doesn't like this word. The presidency says every single person who participated in that burial of Abba Kyari should stay away from Asurok for the next 14 days. It's everyone who participated in that burial ceremony should stay away from Asurok for the next 14 days. That's all they said. So after 14 days, what next? May God help us. 080-620-99556. 080-620-99556. 5, 6. We'll almost be done. We'll soon be done. Next one here says, Emmy J. Sunset says, they are lawmakers. The lawmakers are always lawbreakers. Okay. Interesting. The lawmakers are always lawbreakers, Emmy says. John Best, sorry about the network issues you're having at your end. Felix Michael says, for me, the apology is not accepted because Fuke Akindele apologized over her act and they went ahead to penalize her. But if they want their deeds to be accepted, they must free all those that flouted the directives and apologize to them as well. Okay. I'm sure you're also thinking about those who were taken to court in Rivers State. Justin Achukuka says, good evening, Kofi, well done. Federal government will put law and they will not keep it. It's very bad. Okay. Oloyede Benjamin says, they weren't supposed to make such grievous mistakes in the first place, for crying out loud. Can't we be organized for once, especially in this terrible season? Everyone involved in this show of shame or that show of shame should face the music, like Fuka Kinele and Co. That Co is a husband and friends. There should be no secret cows. Shame on the presidency. So you are saying that they should face the music. The presidency is saying they should stay away from Asuro for 14 days. Should they be arrested and made to face the law? Maybe, just maybe, some of you who are commenting right now on Facebook are using the spirit of Port Harcourt. Some of you are using the spirit of River State to talk about this. Because while you are saying they should be arrested, or they should be arrested, in Lagos State, people are not being put in jail. In Ogun State, people are not being put in jail. In Abuja, I don't think anyone has been put in jail. So maybe that is not a policy of the authorities in Abuja. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. But obviously, a lot of you think that it's not good, and some people have to pay. So should they be arrested? Should they be taken to court? Should they be made to pay a fine? Should they be jailed? Should they do community service, or what? Presidency has said we are sorry. The task force has said we are sorry, and the presidency said do not come to Aso Rock for the next 14 days. I think that is the case closed, or that is case closed with this. If you don't think so, well, that's what I think. Wow. Okay. Ade Goroye Patrick Ade Aladeo says, after the deed has been done. Okay, I need to just shift this a bit so I can see your name well. Okay. After the deed has been done, I thought the federal government said they won't release any corona victims' corpse to their families. Well, the NCDC, I think it was the NCDC or Ministry of Health, they've done a backtrack to say they never said they won't release the corpse to the families. That's what they're saying. That they never said they won't release the corpse to the families. Or they are saying that they will release corpses to families. Okay. So you're saying why is Abba Kyari's case different? Not only that, no social distancing at all. They're just adding more fuel to the fire. All right. Thank you very much, Ade Goroye. Temi Dayo in Malolajide says, Kofi, apology accepted. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Apology accepted. This is one person who is having a different view from what the others are saying. Apology accepted. Okay. Interesting. I'm just trying to get this message. Okay, so it says, apology accepted. Know that we, the Nigerian citizens, have granted federal government pardon. Let them apologize to all the victims of lockdown order. And also pardon them and release them without further delay. As for Funke Akindele, she should get a presidential pardon to be published in all newspapers and radio stations and also television stations as well. John Besuche says, does the apology suggest in any way that they are repentant of the action, which is never anything to be compared to the more weightier things they are most likely to do? Apology does not mean a never to do again to me, especially when it comes from our government. Anyways, we keep hopes alive to have a better Nigeria someday. Thank you. John Best, nice hearing from you, my brother. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. More messages coming in. If you'd like to call, 080-620-99556. But we're almost out of time. I just need to clear these messages and we're done. Kasenya Awusa says, who is apologizing? Are you asking me who is apologizing, Kasenya? Are you seriously asking me who is apologizing. Okay. Well, the federal government is apologizing. And of course, they have said we are sorry for what has happened. We never meant it to be this way. We've learned our lessons. This shouldn't have happened. I'm going to play you the video of, before we go, of the Secretary of Government of Federation when he was saying I'm sorry live on TV. And we'll listen to this when we come back. And I will be done with playing of, we're taking your comments as well. Let's just listen first of all to this video again and to what transpired right there in Abuja. I'm just trying to get that to play. As far as this whole burial of Abba Kyari was concerned. Okay, here it is. We listen to this and we come back and we're done.
They bonded that place. Even if I don't question for the coffee safe.
See, you don't come out that thing when you
See, see?
See this gentleman.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
That guy don't come out
See,
the
see,
He don't come out that white something.
See, I see in a capture when
And all these Aboki people go pick him.
Oh, and his hand come beating. It's not a carry if we get them down. That person will now open it for it. Time for nylon or go burn them. But look at. Oh God.
And that place, see how?
Say they look round.
Aboki the man. Hey, don't they using
Rico Sana. They're leaving the place. Don't better finish now. See, look. So let me go to all of this now. Come out.
I welcome you all to the briefing for Monday, 20th April 2020. I'm sure you have all followed the developments around the world and in our country in particular since the last briefing. These are developments that drive home the danger that COVID wants every